third choice is this: lasting love expects the best. It expects the best. Be careful on this. This is not something where, you have to live up to a certain standard of living in my eyes. Love expects the best. Put right next to that hopeful. Love is hopeful. You hope for the best. It's hopeful, anticipating the best is yet to come. Look for the best. Because what you're facing in this season of your relationship right now is the choices you make are just like we talked about just last week. They are seeds. They are seeds for what's to come. They are seeds for the future, stories you'll tell. The longer you're in a relationship with a person, you tend to expect the worst, not the best. You ever find that? The longer that we're in a relationship with somebody, in our marriage, or a dating relationship, or a friendship, we kind of assume the worst. That they're assuming the worst about me. And we want to flip that around to assume the best. There's a college professor who got a job at a college in the Midwest. And when he came onto campus and he got his assignment, they said, "Professor, we want you to teach the advanced English class." The dean of students said, "We've got you with the advanced aptitude English students." And so he walked into his class that day and said, "You are the most brilliant minds on the campus. We're going to have a great year." And so those students at the end of their last semester, as they were coming into the home stretch, they started getting grades back, and they were getting A's and high B's, and they had a fantastic year. And so the professor went into the faculty lounge later on at that last day of school, and he was talking to another professor and said, "Man, I'm just so excited that I got the advanced placement college students for English." And the other professor said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Well, I got the AP English kids for my college class to teach." He said, "We don't have any AP classes here." And so the dean of students pulled a fast one on him. And because he went in teaching that class expecting that he had these really responsible, brilliant, advanced students, he treated them that way. And the results were phenomenal. What if you went into your relationships and work relationships expecting the best? Not putting pressure on somebody, not undue pressure, but having respect for them. You know, the one thing that'll kill a relationship faster than any other is disrespect. You know, it's going to kill your marriage so fast. It's like pour motor oil on it. Is having disrespect in your relationship. We find this. And when it comes to lasting love, love never stops hoping. 1 Corinthians 13:7c. It never stops hoping. It never always expects the best. It always looks for the best. Looking for things that are good and right. We find telling it like it is only reinforces the negative. If you find your temperament and your personality, I just tell things how they are. I just tell it how it is. And they just have to deal with it because love hurts. That's what Pastor Manny said. The first thing out of his mouth this morning is love hurts. And if I have to hurt you to make this right, the problem is this. When people in our relationships, when we react to each other, if you go to the doctor and they give you medication and you say, "Oh man," and the doctor checks in a week or maybe a month later, "How you doing?" You say, "Oh man, doc, I'm reacting to the medication." Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's a bad thing. Like, I got a rash. You know, you ever watch this? I love this. You ever watch those commercials on TV and they're like, "If you have this problem, use this medication. Side effects may be," and they always, like, the narrator always drops their voice and they go super fast. "Side effects may be," you know, like I just saw arthritis medication. They're like, "Side effects may be. But you may have this stomach issue and that stomach issue, all these different problems." I'm thinking, give me the arthritis, man. I'll take that any day over the side effects, right? But if the doctor calls and you say, "My body's responding," what's that mean? It's a good thing. That's working. And our reactions, when they can begin to pale in comparison to our response and having respect toward each other, that expects the best. Tell it like it could be. Don't tell it like it is. Tell it like it. Talk to your kids. Talk to your coworkers. Talk to your spouse like it could be. Abraham, God called him the father of nations. Can you imagine this guy walking around back in Abraham's day in the Old Testament? Names were big. Names were a big deal. Kind of like the signed business names today, you know? We find ourselves with this guy named Abraham. They say, "Abraham, your name means father of nations. How many kids do you have?" "None." "What?" "But your name means father of nations," right? It's like when IHOP, the International House of Pancakes, wanted to go with IHOB, International House of Burgers. And everybody's like, "Say what?" Like, "Stay in your lane, dude. We know you're trying to be like marketing savvy," but Gideon comes on the scene. God says, "Oh, mighty man of valor." You know what he was doing? He was hiding in the back of a cave trying to make some wine. That's what he was doing. because he was going to just drink his sorrows away. And God says, mighty man of valor, father of many nations. And God tells Noah, you're going to build an ark. We talked about this last week. You're going to build an ark, something you've never done before. In 1 Corinthians 13:7, the Living Bible says this, if you love someone, we'll go ahead and put it up here for us. Do we have that? If you love someone, oh, we're getting there? There we go. If you love someone, you will be loyal to them, to him, to her, no matter what the cost. You will always believe in them, always expect the best, and always stand your ground in defending them. If we begin to do this in our relationship, how would this change the dynamic of our relationship? 1 Thessalonians 5:11 says, encourage each other and build each other up. That you are building up this person's life. Satan's favorite 4 words are this: you can't do it. You can't do it. If somebody says to you, you can't do it. If you say to your spouse, you can't do it. It's just not possible. You can't do it. The challenge for us is this. We say, I don't want to set them up with false hopes and expectations. Here's the deal. The world around us, there are plenty of people who are going to be mean enough and hard enough on your kids and on your spouse and on your coworkers. Your little bit of encouragement to them is going to level the playing field. We all want to deal with a level playing field, right? If you ever played sport, played soccer at all, I remember in high school I played soccer, and the one end of the field was kind of downhill a little bit. It was horrible. So we were so glad at halftime when we switched, we were able to be on the upper hill to be able to kind of come downhill then instead of having to go uphill the whole game. And your relationship with people, giving them a little bit of encouragement, encouraging them, and saying, hey, you can do it. You can say, but what if I'm setting them up for false expectations and false hope? It's okay. Because they have to have just at least one person in their corner. You need one person in your corner. Do you want to surround yourself with people who are know-it-alls that say no all the time? Billy Joel, read this week. This is awesome. I love this. Be a Billy Joel. Billy Joel, the front row of his concerts, he tells his promoters and he tells the arena, don't sell the tickets in the front rows. Billy Joel's tickets usually go for $100 to $150. And he says, don't fill in the front rows, save those tickets. Because what was happening early on in his career, scalpers would buy up those tickets and they'd sell them at 5 or 6 times the cost. And the people that would buy those tickets were kind of like, yeah, we're kind of into Billy Joel, but we're not really into Billy Joel. And so they'd sit in the front row and they'd kind of leer at him and they'd smug. Play us a song, Mr. Piano Man. Play us a song tonight. Like, you know? And he said it really sucked. Like you'd have all these people who were just kind of like, just lousy fans. They weren't really fans. It was just, hey, I scored a Billy Joel ticket because they could go brag to their friends about it. So he said, no more. So what he did is he told his roadies, he said, stand in the back of the arena and I want you to watch young fans who are young and hungry with hustle, who have really lousy seats, but are super excited. You know, the ones with the foam fingers, and the ones that have the neon stuff all over, yeah, really excited. And he said, walk up to them and tell them, hey, tonight's your night. You got a front row seat. He said that changed everything. He'd rather play to a crowd who was fan favorites than people who are just sitting by. And for you right now, you need to be in the front row of the people in your life. And if you can't be there in the front row of the people in your life, get out then. Because that is not a healthy relationship. That does not have a healthy home. It does not have a healthy workplace. It is not a healthy way to live. Because what happens is this. The day is going to come when that stage is going to flip around and you're going to be the one on the stage, the one who needs fans and the one who needs help. And if you treat people with disgust or disrespect or just ignore people, then people are going to reciprocate that back to you. They can feel that vibe. Be a fan. Every time you encourage somebody, you kill those doubts in their mind that they already have. The number one killer of love in a marriage, it's not financial debt, it's not adultery, it's not anger, it's not hatred, it's just neglect. It's just not spending time, it's just not paying attention, it's neglect. Here's a poem for you just to think about and consider. If I knew this was the last time I'd see you fall asleep, I'd tuck you in more tightly and pray your soul to keep. If I knew this was the last time I'd see you out the door, I'd hug and kiss you one more time and call you back for more. If I knew this was the last time I'd get to share your day, I know I'd make certain that it didn't slip away. We assume we'll always have tomorrow to correct an oversight, that we'll always have another chance to make everything all right. There will always be another day to say that I love you. There will always be another chance to say, what can I do? But just in case that I might be wrong, and today is all I get, I want to say that I love you so that you will not forget. That tomorrow is not promised, that we'll see another night. Today could be my last chance to love and hold you tight. Instead of waiting for tomorrow, show your love somehow. For if tomorrow never comes, you'll wish you'd done it right now. That you didn't take the extra time for a smile, a hug, or a kiss. Instead, you found you were too busy for that one that you now miss. Hold your loved ones close today and whisper in their ear and say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. You're the best, and it's okay. So if tomorrow never comes, you will not regret today. The best time to give somebody flowers isn't when they pass away. The best time to say something good about somebody isn't at their funeral. The best time to give flowers, to love, is right now. Do it right now while we have the chance to. I must choose to expect the best and to give people the benefit of the doubt. Who are you going to give the benefit of the doubt and expect the best from this week? I want you to write their name in the margin. I'm going to give this person this week. I'm going to expect the best. Expect some hope. Number 4, as we wrap up then. Lasting love endures the worst. It endures the worst. Love never, ever, ever, ever gives up. Love never gives up. It endures through every circumstance. Love always perseveres. Love never looks back, but keeps going to the end. You say, but I can't afford to take time to work on this relationship. I can't afford marriage counseling, or I can't afford to spend time with my kids. I'm too busy. I can't afford to take time in my workplace. I'm like, it's awkward. Like, who does that anyway? You do it. You change it. You be the one to be the change agent. Why? Because it's always more rewarding to restore a relationship than to run from it. It's always more rewarding to restore a relationship than to run from it. And so write that down in your notes. I don't think it's there for you. Go ahead and write that down. It's always more rewarding to restore a relationship than to run from it. Why? Because we all know, we've all had moments where we ran from a job, we ran from a friendship, we ran from a marriage, maybe even. And to stand here today and say, I have absolutely no regrets about that, we not be telling the full truth, will we? We find ourselves to restore our friendships, restore our relationships, to not give up on people. Why? If you find yourself through this whole talk this morning coming back to why? Why? What's in it for me? Why? I want to throw this out to you. Jesus has never given up on you. Maybe you can't see it, maybe you can't feel it, but he has never, ever give up on you. Job 6, verse 14 says this, when desperate people give up on God Almighty, their friends at least should stick with them. Job had some real tough stuff he was dealing with back there in the Old Testament. But the statement was this, even when somebody gives up on God, at the very least, as a good friend, come alongside them and stick with them. Even if your spouse has given up on God, even if your friends have given up on God, even if your kids have given up on God, to stick with them, at the very least, stick with them. That's why small groups are so important. In Greater Philly Church, we talk about small groups. We've got a small group that we're in on Tuesday nights that we have. And you say, well, should I come to your small group, Pastor Manny? If you want chaos, it's beautiful chaos. But if you want chaos, yeah, show up to my house on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock, and it's chaos. You say, well, okay, I don't like chaos. So then what do? All you have to do is find a couple people. Are there any friends that you have? Are there any coworkers that you have? Family members that you have? A small group can be as small as 2 people. It's not ideal, but as small as 2 people. You can be you and your spouse. Or 3 people. 3 are better than 2. 4 are better than 3. 6 are better than 4. 10, that's going to be too many. But a small group, you get together with some people and you say, you know what? We're going to watch Pastor Matt's message And I may fast forward, and I may nudge you a little bit to make sure you get the point that I heard that I wanted you to hear too. And we're going to look through these notes. There's questions to talk about. Let's talk about this stuff together. You know what our small group is like? We watch a video from YouTube or Facebook. We watch something online for maybe 15, 20 minutes. But the majority of the time, I'll just go here. About 6, what time do you show up, Jen? Like, Jen shows up earlier and earlier and earlier. She's like, she's got a key to our house now. She'll show up at like 6:15. Yeah, 6:15. And we'll hear a knock on the door. Pastor Matt. It's my buddy Bryson. You know, he just turned 4. He was so excited. I got invited to a 4-year-old birthday party. And I had an awesome time. I look like a maniac, but I had an awesome time. So he comes in my house, and he comes and he gives me a big hug. Hi, Pastor Matt. And Leah comes in. And usually, like, Leah, what'd you break this week? You know, it's kind of how it goes. We've got food in the kitchen, and it's that smell that our house, like there's food smell that just kind of cooked into the walls, kind of like your grandma's house. And just you got the smell, and we sit down and we talk. How was your week? It sucked. Why? Because this or that. How was your week? Man, I finally broke through this area, this thing. And Gina and Aisha, they come rolling in with their girls, and we have a great time. The kids go and play, and we eat together so we can kind of not be hangry the whole time. If you have something to drink, something to eat, and just kind of relax. And then we say, okay, let's talk. What's going on? We get involved in each other's lives. We kind of needle a little bit, and we listen a lot. We sit around. Why? Because life is too hard to go through by yourself. Life is too tough. You know what? It's to get to what I just explained to you. It's taken us 6 years? Like it's been tough. It's been awkward at times, really, honestly. Like we just kind of sit there, and the first couple of times we just kind of stare at each other. I was like, okay, let's pray. You know, we work through it. But now, there's certain people, I won't mention any names, but they just won't shut up in our group, Aisha. And so sometimes it takes a little bit of time, you know? But it's good. It's good because what we're doing is we're watching our kids grow up together. And we're growing together as couples. And I wouldn't trade anything for that in the world. And you can have that when you begin to invest in your relationships with people. And you invest in people's lives. And it doesn't take long, just a couple hours a week. Spending time tracking with people and saying, I care about you, and knowing that they care about me, to encourage each other. I want to show you one more picture, and then we'll wrap up. This last week, we went away, and we spent 7 days at Uncle Bill's Pancake House. No. We went away down to Sea Isle City, and then on Saturday morning, just yesterday, we finished up at Uncle Bill's Pancake House, and they just about had a heart attack because the place was already packed, and we came rolling in with our crew and all those little hungry faces. But what I want you to see there is this. There's, 15 people there. That group of 15, that family, started with 2, and 2 became 5. And then those 3 went on to do life and to graduate from high school and go into college and get careers and jobs. And this, in a couple more years, in 2024, will be 50 years in the making. That's 50 years in the making. That's a lot of sleepless nights. That's a lot of heartbreak. That's a lot of discussions. That's a lot of disappointment. It's a lot of unmet expectations. It's a lot of, I'm sorry, please forgive me. It's a lot of, be patient with me. It's a lot of, shut up, sometimes. But in order to have that, replace that with a vision of what you want. To have a marriage, to have your kids come home, to have a vacation where you can go with your family. This isn't the Mannies. This is you. This is you. That's you. That is you if you decide today to fight for your family. Because here's the reality. Nobody will fight for your family quite like you do. Nobody has the guts, the determination, the wisdom, the patience, or the grace to fight for your family like you do. Schools are going to try to fight for your family. that they can. And some other knucklehead out there, some other person's going to try to work their way into your family, but you protect your family. And they're going to fight. You know why affairs are so destructive and such a mess? It's because somebody else out there prides themselves. They don't love that individual. They're just happy that they have the self-esteem within themselves that I could steal somebody away. And here's the reality. You steal somebody away, and somebody's going to steal them away from you too. And so you stick it out, and you fight for your family because nobody else will. Don't fight with your family. Fight for your family because nobody else will, and nobody else can. It is nobody else's responsibility but yours to fight for your family from God. That is God's command to you, to love your family. And when it comes to this decision, my challenge to you today is this. Choose to fight for your family. Why? Because it's the only one you got. It's the only one you got. That last point there is this. My relationship decision is this. I will decide with the interest of others in mind. I will make my choices for the betterment and the benefit of those around me. Your kids need you. Your husband needs you. Your wife needs you. That guy or that girl out there one day to be your spouse, they need you. Your grandkids who have not been born yet, they need you. They need you. Fight for your family. Let's pray.